What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Masterclass, the six-figure podcast Masterclass.
Throwing down another one, baby.
Yes,
Throwing down another one.
Yes.
We are going to go over from start to finish how you guys can start your very own podcast and be successful with it. So we're super excited to have you all here today, and just looking forward to sharing all of the knowledge that we've accumulated in launching Forge Your Potential. If you guys too, we wanted to let you know, down in the right-hand corner of your screen is a chat box on the website, and you are able to actually physically chat with and leave comments and all that stuff. So if you have any questions about anything, go ahead and post them there, and we'll cover your questions. We'll get them answered.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We're going to hang out for just a few minutes here and let people trickle in as they continue to join us here today.
Yes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
What is going on?
Super excited. This is going to be fun. This is going to be super fun.
Oh, man. A lot of...
Hear that music playing in the background, Connor?
Yeah.
That means some crazy shit's about to go down.
Yeah, party!
Woo!
No, seriously, I love this song.
It's amazing.
I love it.
It's truly amazing.
It just makes me feel like I'm right here in this photo on the screen.
Right.
Like relaxing and luxury.
Oh, dude. It fits the photo perfectly.
Just living the dream.
Right.
Living the dream.
Living the old dream.
Not a care in the world other than where your next meal is going to be. Where your next...
Right in my lap. I'll tell you that right now.
Where the next vacation's going to be. That's going to be a good problem to have.
We'll hang out for what, a couple more minutes. Wait for people to continue to roll in. Welcome everybody that has joined us.
Yes, again, if you guys have any questions, remember there's the chat box right in the right-hand corner of your screen, the bottom right-hand corner. You guys can click that and interact with us live as we're on here during this masterclass, and ask us any questions. Make any comments, or if you there's something that maybe you podcast yourself already and you're just joining us to share to gain our insight on these topics. Feel free to share anything that you've learned personally with us,
right.
And we can share it with everybody else and give you your due credit for being a badass and knowing your stuff. So that's what this is all about, man. That's honestly, like, Forge Your Potential is really just about bringing people together for a common good, working together on something. I mean, anything that's ever been done in the history of humanity that was really, truly great was done with a mass amount of people. Nobody's ever done anything on their own.
Right. That's super important to note. You know, it's a collaboration. Anything you do is a collaboration. And I think that's really, you know, once you realize that, the sky's the limit. Realistically, you know?
Oh, it really is. It really is.
All right, guys. Well, it looks like we're about ready to start here. You ready to go, dude?
Let's see. Checking a couple things here before we kick it off.
Let's cut the old music.
Oh, man.
I know. We can't have distractions in here, though.
There we go. Time to get real. Time to get the show on the road, people.
Beautiful. Super excited, guys. Super excited. Thank you for joining us, showing an interest in podcasting, and really how to make money from your podcast. That's what we're going to really jump into here. So let's jump right into it. Again, thank all of you for joining us. It's amazing to see the turnouts. Every time we do this masterclass, just showing the support and showing the interest in what we do, which is super cool.
It's so awesome. It's so awesome, and it's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to do what you guys are doing right now. Getting involved with something that you're interested in, something that you want to do. You're taking action towards something, and that's an incredible thing, because a lot of people don't. I mean, how many of us really just sit there and think about something we want to do and not really truly do it? So
right.
Again, thank you guys for joining us today.
So, congratulations. Real quick, we just want to let you know that starting a podcast doesn't have to be scary at all. A lot of things, a lot of tech things are perceived as scary, I think,
Oh, absolutely.
and we really just this part of this, we want to clear that up for you guys and just show you how simple. If you take it step by step, it's a very simple process.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just with anything else, man. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn. You're gonna get more educated on this, and you're going to feel a lot safer, I guess, when starting things.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So, real quick, type yes right now in the comments. Hopefully, you guys were able to get that all worked out in the bottom right corner. So if you have signed on to the comments section, go ahead and type yes right now in the comments, letting us know that you're excited about learning how to start a six-figure podcast.
Yes, I know I would be.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously, like, had you and I had something like this when we first started, Dustyn, oh my God.
We would do.
Oh
we
my
would be.
God.
We would be ages ahead right now.
Seriously.
We would be.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Seriously.
We're getting the yeses. We're getting them rolling in.
Getting the yeses.
Getting them rolling in,
Thank you.
bro.
Thank you, guys. All right. Let's see. Let's actually, before we jump into stuff, where is everybody from? Dustyn, you want to pull it up over there and see what we've got going on?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So just go ahead and comment in the comments section where you're from, where you're listening in from, where we can I guess boast your geographical location.
Yes. Where is everybody from?
Okay, so we got Alaska.
Alaska, what's going on, eh?
Nice.
I guess that's
That's
Canada,
Canadian.
but hey, it trickles over. It carries over,
Yeah,
man.
I guess it's the same
Come
general
on.
location, right? All right, so we got Perth, Australia. Dang.
Perth, Australia.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Perth before.
Perth,
ever.
Australia. We have some listeners in Australia on the podcast.
We do. It's amazing. Yeah, we've got people from Australia, from Ireland, the UK, all kinds of stuff. It's really, really cool to see. I mean, people from Japan, all over the world.
China
Like,
too.
yeah, like tuning into Forge Your Potential. It's really cool. Like, that's your goal when you start something, but to actually physically see it is something else entirely. It's super cool.
Got a lot of
So,
got a lot of Boise's and Meridians
yes.
repping from home.
What's up?
Wait, Idaho City.
Oh,
Idaho City. It's the first time we've seen Idaho City.
yes. First one.
Nice,
First
nice.
one.
Welcome from Idaho City.
Idaho City.
Starting a podcast out there, huh? Cool deal. New York City.
Yes, always got people from New York. You guys are doing awesome.
Beautiful. Looks like
see.
Santa Monica.
Hey, there's California.
Yeah,
There's California.
Yeah. I was wondering where the California peeps were.
All right, perfect. Well, if you guys don't generally follow us, you're probably wondering who in the hell are these guys? Well, I am Connor Skeen. I'm the CEO and founder of Forge Your Potential, and this is a picture of me. Here I am in all my glory.
Yes.
Very
glorious, very glorious. And this is my name is Dustyn Stevens. I am the co-founder of Forge Your Potential, and this is a picture of me up at Table Rock, a local landmark that we have in the Boise area. We actually had a cleanup effort up there not too long ago.
Yeah.
In June. It went really well. We had thousands of people show up, and there was not a single bit of trash left up there. It was amazing.
It was absolutely incredible. It was super, super cool to see everybody coming together.
So all this talk.
that.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're
Okay.
good.
All this talk of Forge Your Potential, you might be wondering, if you are not a fan of ours, or if you've never listened to the podcast, you might be wondering, what the hell is Forge Your Potential, right?
So we know who Connor and Dustyn are, but what the F is Forge Your Potential, man?
Right.
Well, our goal really, as you can see, is to inspire people to not really only see the possibilities, but to get you guys and to get people to strive for them and to give you the tools to do that as well. That's why we interview entrepreneurs. That's why we interview people that have been through extremely adverse situations and come out on top. And that is really our goal with Forge Your Potential, just shaking people awake and getting people to realize those possibilities that they could have for their lives, and getting them to chase after that. And
right.
It's a shame, we always face that in life, and we have these dreams for our lives, and we don't always realize that it could be our reality.
Right.
And really, that is Forge Your Potential. That is what it's about. It's about this idea of having the world at your fingertips.
Absolutely. So we produce a podcast, obviously, called the Forge Your Potential Podcast, and basically we talk about philosophical type of things, and we have very cool guests on as well. We've
Oh,
been really hitting the guests hard, getting some amazing people on as of recently, and really kind of trying to go more that direction. So
hmm
we have a lot of really cool people all around the world that we've sought after here on the
yes.
Forge Your Potential Podcast.
Yes, we've had some incredible interviews. We just had one with the wonderful Whitney Hansen. It's an amazing episode full of all kinds of great financial information. You guys will have to go check that out after the masterclass and give her a shout out. She's incredible.
Absolutely. We also produce tons of media content from audio to video. We've been hitting video a lot more recently, trying to. It's a really good way. It's a really good way to market and to reach your audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's got to be good video. So
Right.
if that's something that you want to do with what you're doing, just make sure it's good audio and good video.
Right. Right. So before we even get started, we want to cover some ground rules here. Okay. So we're going to tell you who this masterclass is for.
This is for you. If you are in fact serious about learning how to run a successful podcast, this is for you. If you're excited about learning how to run your own successful podcast and learning about the success that it can provide for you as a
Right.
means of income and a lifestyle. It's for you if you're willing to take action today. Again, going back to taking action, all the knowledge in the world is not going to benefit you if you don't utilize it. So
Right. Right.
absolutely. And this again is for you if you understand that hard work is the only way. This is not a get rich quick thing. This is a work your ass off, know what you're doing, trust the process kind of thing.
Right.
And just understand that this is going to take work, and that's really the only way to do anything.
Right, absolutely. So this is not for you. We're just going to clear this up real quick. You need to know that this is not going to benefit you if you plan to dabble in podcasting. It's not something that you dabble in, period, right? We're talking about hard work, and you got to be committed to this. You got to be dedicated to producing a successful podcast, to produce a successful podcast, period, right? It's not for you if you might take action after viewing this masterclass. Again, you got to be dedicated to it. We're going to be sharing all of our tips and tricks here, everything you're going to need to build a foundation and get started. And you need to be willing to take action. You need to take action right away. This is not for you if you expect this to teach you an easy way to achieve success from podcast. Again, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be. It's going to take work. But it's going to be super, super fulfilling in the end.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So what you guys are going to learn from this podcast, we're going to teach you the 4-step structure of a 6-figure podcast. We're going to teach you how to find your niche. We're going to go over your game plan and how to form that. We're going to talk everything from software, hosting, equipment, and of course, we're going to teach you how to make money from podcasting.
Yes, and believe it or not, you can make a substantial amount of money from podcasting.
It's unbelievable.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of things out there you can make money with, but this is by far the most gratifying way to make money, for sure. If you're interested in starting a podcast and talking about things, and you are able to make money on it, like, holy cow, man, that's
right.
That's super amazing.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. But before we jump into everything, we wanted to give you a little background information about us. And in the process of doing that, we wanted to remind you guys to go ahead and remove some distractions, get yourself secluded, whether that's disconnecting from your phone or getting in a quiet room or what have you. But just get in a place where you can focus and get ready to take notes as well. And just make sure you're able to absorb everything that we're going to go over, because this is absolutely extensive. Everything that we're going to go over is very detailed, not so much to the extent that you're not going to be able to understand, but to the extent that we're going to, that's exactly why we're going to explain every little thing. You're going to understand it. And we want you to get the most out of this. We want you to be successful. So,
right, right. And hopefully you guys ended up utilizing the Tools for Success list that we provide for you. Again, that's going to have our note advisor. That's a note-taking guide that allows you to have platformed or strategic notes. It lays out the notes for you and just makes it a little bit easier to take notes. So hopefully you're able to utilize that.
Yes, yes. So let us kick it off. Here I am, Connor Skeen. This is me. I am an actor. This is me hanging out with J. Karen Thomas, one of my really good friends. She passed away from cancer a couple of years ago now, I guess it would be. This is Colette, both really, really great friends of mine. Mr. Ray Liotta here, we're hanging out. We were at a dinner, hanging out, and it was an absolutely incredible evening. Ray Liotta is a pretty awesome dude, super approachable guy. And here I am down here with Seth Green, hanging out with him. Super rad dude. Again, just a lot of these people, we talk about this on the podcast, a lot of these successful people are very approachable, very kind. Of course, there are those bad ones out there, but a lot of people that are successful are extremely kind. But I pursue acting. I audition and act for, film and television, all that great stuff. So you just might see me hanging out one of these days on a TV show you're watching. So keep your eyes open.
I don't think there's a mite about it. I think it's gonna happen, bro.
Keep your eyes open. And this is little Betty here, my little black Pomeranian. She's got a little soccer ball right here. Super high energy, but she's not a yappy dog. She listens. She's smart. She's like the perfect little Pomeranian ever. She's super cool, super fun. She's a terror on squirrels and cats, and anything else you can get her excited about. This is me and a couple friends up at a local resort here in Idaho, getting some snowboarding in, shredding the mountain, bro. It was a super awesome day. This is all on the same day, actually. The clouds were just incredible. This is Boise down here. You can see the clouds just covering Boise, and it was just an absolutely incredible day, beautiful day. Here I am hanging out outside. I like to do anything and everything outside. I like hiking, working out. I like fishing, camping, riding dirt bikes, four-wheelers, anything you can think of outside. I love it. This is Table Rock, where Dustyn's photo was in the very beginning of the presentation. They have a lot of really great hiking and biking trails up there. This is Boise for those of you outside of the local area. This is Boise right down below. All of you tuning in from Boise, Meridian, Idaho City, all you guys know exactly what this is. Chilling out by the pool. Got a water fight going on. There's this little dude battling this big dude over here that you can't see behind this photo, but you can see his water stream right there. I don't know if that's appropriate or not, but hey, they're battling. This is me out at the shooting range. I like to go out and do target practice. I love shooting. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Just love getting out and hanging out with people. And Dustyn and I go shooting with with friends, family, great stuff. I absolutely love it.
Right on, jumping on over. My name is Dustyn Stevens, and I have a little bit different of a life, as you can see here. Backstory, different life. Both came together for a common good. Started Forge Potential. Connor started Forge Potential, but we came together and really blew it up. Both of our collaborations on this thing. But from the beginning, I am the co-founder of Forge Potential. I am a serial entrepreneur and a published author. When I'm not worried about business, I am. My personal life is consisted with my wife and my daughter. Proud father, proud husband. As you can see, it's me and my wife and I guess that's proper. It's proper
English.
Proper English. My daughter and I in a store. Don't know what store this was, but it's a cute picture. So, also this is a outtake from our family photos that we had done probably a couple months ago now. And my daughter and I on the beach. Very first time she's ever been to the beach. It was a blast. And then my daughter wearing some Halloween kitty cat ears.
Kitty cat ears in the house.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Freaking cutie. Okay.
That's cool.
So we'll jump right into how this all started for us. You
Let's
might be
see.
wondering, how did two guys from Boise, Idaho start a podcast and then go on to teaching people how to start a podcast?
Well, it was not gracefully, let's say that, because we did our very first recording ever.
Exactly, right? So September 14th, 2015, we haven't even been doing this for, oh my gosh, it's coming up pretty quick.
Coming
man.
up.
A year. We have to do something for our year anniversary, something special.
We got to go on a trip or something, Dustyn.
Yes, we do. So we honestly were just recording the podcast in our car from a voice recorder app on one of our smartphones. Terrible quality, terrible content, period, right?
Oh my God.
It was bad. We go back and listen to these first episodes that we first did. It's painful. It's a painful experience.
Yeah, painful to say the least. And you guys can actually go back and listen to those prior episodes. I'll do everything that my body is telling you not to do. And
right. Well, you just announced it to everyone.
Seriously, yeah. Go back and listen to that very first episode. Go back and listen to some of those beginning episodes, and then listen to some of the most recent ones that we've done, and just see the progression, and just see how we've gone from knowing absolutely nothing and having really no direction whatsoever with podcasting, and just see kind of what we've been able to learn and implement in our podcast. So really, I mean, it was just trial and error for us.
Right. So now we reach thousands of people. So talking about a success story in under a year, man, we've catapulted. We've catapulted. We've done really well. And we interview big names. And at this point, we've achieved more success than we really expected by this point in the game. Under a year, and we're making leaps and bounds here.
Oh my God. And just everything outside of the podcast. It's funny because a lot of people, they think of their business and they think, okay, and they just think in aspects of their business, but we're talking the relationships that we've forged, the events that we've hosted and been a part of, and
the people we've met.
Oh my God, it's been absolutely insane. And honestly, it's priceless. And a lot of it doesn't even convert to, the business and, the return or this or that. But the fact of the matter is what we're getting in return from doing a lot of this stuff is way more beneficial, way more priceless than anything that we could, any paycheck, any kind of success that we could attain merely through, material aspects of business.
Right. And that's super important to note, because a lot of people get focused on the money. A lot of people, that's probably why a lot of you are here right now, is because you want to learn how to start a six-figure podcast. And that's, not a problem at all either.
No, money is a great thing.
It is. But we want you to know that just going through the process, you're going to experience wealth on a level that you couldn't even fathom.
Yes. Right.
So all of that success that we're talking about, that's why we've decided to teach you what we know, because it was hell for us starting out. We didn't know, like we said, we didn't have any direction.
Right.
We had no idea where we were going. We had absolutely nothing, right? So it was basically trial and error. And now that we've accumulated all of this knowledge, we want to help people out.
Right. And this is not just generic shit that we're going to go over with you guys. Like, there are so many blogs out there and so many posts and so many articles on how to start a podcast, and none of them even come close to going into the depth that we go into as far as what you guys can utilize for equipment, what you guys can utilize for every aspect of podcasting, and going in depth into every single thing. This is not some generic advice you're going to get. So
right.
If you guys are serious about podcasting right now and learning how to start your very own six-figure podcast, go ahead and again go down to that comment section on the bottom right-hand corner, that chat deal, and type "serious" if you are serious about learning how to start a six-figure podcast.
Give us a serious. Come on. All right. We got a couple. We got okay.
What's up?
4, 5.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're coming in. Sweet.
Rad.
Awesome.
You guys are badass. You're super badass. Let's go ahead and jump into it. What is a podcast? Well, a podcast is an independent internet radio talk show. It's like a talk show on the radio, pretty much. You guys can download it and listen to it anytime, anywhere. There are various podcast applications that you guys can download on your mobile devices, on your computers. Some vehicles actually even have apps that you can download for your vehicle and listen to these podcasts from, or you can just listen to them straight from these examples that we have down here. You can listen to them straight from SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Overcast, Spreaker. There's a plethora of different applications that you guys can download on your mobile devices and everything else to listen to podcasts. So they're a great tool.
Right. So let's jump into who can start a podcast. It's very simple, very straightforward. Anyone who has a passion to talk about something. So if that's you, you qualify. Period.
Qualify. Done.
So why should you start a podcast? Well, there's many different reasons. Many different reasons. We're going to jump into those.
Let's see. You guys are going to have the opportunity with your podcast to share your opinions, your philosophies, your stances on everything going on in your world, on everything going on globally. And honestly, that's what it's all about. You guys are going to be able to share your knowledge. You're going to be able to educate others. You're going to be able to brand yourself, your business, your book, whatever it is. You're going to have a beautiful outlet for doing this. You guys are going to be able to become a trusted source of information regarding those topics that you discuss on your podcast. You guys are going to have a platform to potentially generate and increase conversions, thus creating a substantial revenue stream for you guys and your business.
Right. So, real quick, we're going to jump into a podcasting success story.
Oh my God. If you're new to podcasting, you might not have heard of Lewis Howes, but if you are in the podcasting world, we're pretty damn sure you've heard of this man. He's a beast. You can see he's been on the cover of magazines. He's got his own New York Times best-selling book, The School of Greatness. This is his podcast here, The School of Greatness Podcast. Step into your greatness with Lewis Howes. He interviews entrepreneurs all over the world. He interviews just public figures, anybody that has attained a level of success. He interviews them, talks to them about their process, their history, how they came to be so successful. And he gets very personal with these guests.
Right.
Incredible interviewing skills. You can see he's on top of the world right here, like just owning it.
Right. Killing it with his podcast. Absolutely killing it. Did you mention how many listeners he has?
So listeners wise, he's got over 1 million downloads a month on his podcast. He's making a substantial amount of money every month from ad revenue alone. But again, going back to that, being able to promote your books, to promote your brand, everything it is that you're doing. I mean, look at this book. I mean, he has a platform of over a million people per month to tell people about a book or about a masterclass. I mean, he does masterclasses and webinars, and he does speaking engagements and events and all these other things. And he destroys because of having this podcast outlet. And really, this is what has made him into this huge public figure. I mean, he's been featured on all kinds of morning shows, talk shows, radio shows. He's interviewed some of the top people in the world. We're talking Larry King. We're talking the pushers and movers of generations.
All from his podcast, right?
Yeah, from a podcast, guys. So
hold on real quick. Yeah. I wanted to say we're getting some questions. You guys save your questions for the end. We're going to have a live Q&A. We're actually going to switch over to us, and you'll be able to see us at the very end, and we'll answer your questions for you. So just save those. We will try to get back to them, but the comment section is filling up pretty fast. So just save those questions and ask them again when we jump into our live Q&A session at the end of the webinar. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the 4-step structure for a 6-figure podcast. And this is episode by episode. So we're going to teach you how to structure your podcast episodes to be the most beneficial in what we've found, right?
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and type yes right now if you are excited to learn this 4-step structure. I haven't seen anybody put together something like this.
No.
So, we're teaching you how to structure your episode, down to how to structure your episode. So go ahead and type yes. Sweet. Getting some yeses. Sweet,
rolling
guys.
in.
Thank you for participating. We really appreciate that.
Seriously, right? Seriously.
So let's jump into it. Real quick note, though. Our 4-step structure is targeted towards a podcast that has a typical runtime of an hour. So that's all we can go off of. Our podcast is an hour long. So if you're doing an hour-long podcast, this is what you will be looking at. If you're going to be, different time frames, you're going to want to modify that accordingly. Without further ado, jumping into the 4-step structure of a 6-figure podcast.
Boom.
Step number 1, your intro. 3 minutes max. 3 minutes max. You don't want to go overboard. You don't want to blow it out of the water with your intro. You want it to be quick and to the point, introducing you with some awesome music in the background. This is actually a screenshot of our intro. And there's 3 different points that go into this step, your intro. So ad space, 2 minutes or so. Make sure it's consistent placement because your listeners are going to want to know where your ads are. You need to give them an option to skip those ads if they want to. Don't be deceiving. Don't throw ads in the middle of your podcast. Don't try to be crafty with it. It's all about, with podcasting, we found that it's all about the listener experience, period.
Yes.
Right? Official podcast intro, 30 seconds to 1 minute long. Okay. So as I said, this is a screenshot of our official podcast intro. You can see it's just under a minute, about 45 seconds long. This is not including the ad space or the teaser that we'll cover next. That really just right into the optional teaser or what the episode's about. So we've been doing little comedic excerpts from the podcast, throwing them before the actual official intro.
It's been super fun.
Super fun. Something also we've gotten into recently is introducing our guests. So we record a separate audio file that introduces the guests before the episode actually we jump into the episode, right? So super good layout for step number 1. Step number 2 is a specific mention. You want to keep this about 5 minutes approximately. And this specific mention is basically a segment that aligns with your brand or podcast. What we've been doing is we put in our spotlight, and we basically just highlight an individual or a organization that's doing great things in the world, talk about them, just give them a little bit of spotlight per se, because we feel like they don't get enough attention in today's world. So we've taken it upon ourselves to do that.
And number 3 we've got here is content. So this is the heart and soul of it, or as Dustyn would say, the meat and potatoes. So this is your content. This is 45 to 60 minutes long. So going again back to our podcast is roughly an hour. So it goes anywhere between 50 minutes and an hour and 15 minutes or so. And this is your discussion. This is where the actual discussion of your podcast is going to take place. And then you are going to have your outro. This is about 30 seconds or so, 2 minutes max. You don't want it crazy long. A lot of people skip it anyways. And this is a picture of our outro.
Right. You can see there the music. This is just straight music, right? So the music at the beginning is the really skinny line you see. Over here is that plays in the background as we are leading out the episode. So we're actually talking during that. So we put this in post-production. We don't plan for it or anything, and it usually works out pretty well. And then after we're done talking, we usually stop talking about right here. It's about Road Connor says, remember, today is the day, closes out the episode, and then the music gets a little bit stronger, intense, really cool part in the song, and then it fades out right just after 40 seconds. And that will be the end of your episode.
Awesome. So remember, take notes on that, guys. Take notes.
Absolutely.
And moving on, we're going to talk to you guys right now about what you're going to need to get started. So let's look at it. You're going to need mics. You're going to need a mic or multiple microphones, depending on your setup, your goal with your podcast. You're going to need a mixer or an audio interface of some sort. You're going to need recording software and a hosting service.
Absolutely.
It sounds super intimidating. Sounds like you're going to need a lot of stuff, but it's super easy.
Cool. So we'll jump right into mics. Okay. So USB versus XLR. What is the difference? USB, pretty straightforward, right? If we hope that you recognize the USB cable, right? We hope that it's familiar to you.
They're everywhere.
But actually, the USB mics, this will actually be attached to a microphone, and you're able to plug that straight into your PC and record with a USB mic, just like you would charging your phone, anything else.
XLR mic. As you can see, it's a little bit more professional. It's more the professional option. You are going to need a mixer for this. You're going to need some sort of audio interface or a mixer to plug the XLR port into. As you can see, this portion here fits right into, this is a part of a mixer, and this is going to put right into here as the input there. And as you can see on the back of this mic, here is a plug-in for the XLR, the 3-prong XLR mic. So that is what you're going to need there as far as mics. And you guys might be wondering at this point, like, holy shit, like this is looking super intimidating. How much is this going to cost me? And we're here to tell you it's not very much.
Not very much at all. You can get a podcast started for a decently small investment. And I want to tell you real quick, if we're using terms and using things that you don't quite understand yet, do not worry. We're going to get to everything, and you will know everything we're talking about by the end of this masterclass.
Absolutely.
So USB mic options. We have the Blue Snowball mic, $50. This is a
super cheap.
Right, super cheap, super cheap. This is a proximity mic. Again, the terms, we will get to all of the terms. We will explain what everything means. And then the Blue Yeti mic, this is roughly $120. And it's a proximity mic and a directional mic. It just gives you a little bit more variety as to what you're able to do with that mic. Real quick, USB perks. There are virtual mixers available, meaning there's software that acts as a mixer that you can install on your PC. The end result is always going to be getting this audio back to your PC somehow, some way, so you can then mix it down in your software, your recording software, your editing software, and export it and then upload it as an episode, right?
Right.
But the USB virtual mixers, not all that reliable. We'll just say that.
Right. So here are your XLR mic options. First, we have the Behringer XM 8500. This is about $40. It's a directional mic. Again, we're going to get to the descriptions of directional versus the proximity. Exactly. So we're going to cover all that stuff. The next one that we have is the Heil Sound PR40. It is roughly about $350 to $400, depending on what model you get. And this is what it looks like. And we wanted to note here that this is more of a professional option. Obviously, this is the XLR port. So this is plugging in right here. You can see the XLR port here on this mic. But you are going to need a stand for this mic here because it does not come with one. This is more of a professional option, and you need the professional setup to be able to record with it.
Absolutely. All right. So as we were saying, we're going to jump into the difference, proximity versus directional. So we've created a very simple demonstration for you. On the proximity side, a proximity mic is going to pick up a lot of background noise. It's going to pick up your surround sound pretty bad. It's, you're gonna have a lot of external noise interfering with the audio. And then the directional mic is going to be more pinpoint accuracy as far as the audio input. Where it's listening, it's going to be listening in a very direct spot, meaning directional mic. You might be asking real quick, why would you ever want to go with a proximity mic? Well, if you're trying to stay in a budget, something like a proximity mic would be really good for you if you have multiple podcast hosts, right? You can take a proximity mic, sit in a quiet room, and have multiple people crowded around this thing talking. It's not going to be the best audio quality, but it's going to do the job in a pinch.
Yes, it's going to be a lot better than just trying to use some piece of garbage mic, whether it's on your computer or your phone or any of that stuff. It's going to be a lot better, even though phones are getting really good. Making the investment into a mic is going to be essential because, again, going back to just having that quality content. I mean, this is an audio-based content, and it needs to be good.
Absolutely.
So mixer options. First up, we have the Behringer ZenX, what is it? The 1202. Yes, this is about $120. It has 4 XLR inputs. So you can see this here. These are the XLR inputs right up here. This is your gain. You can turn them up, down. This is your input here for your headphones. This is a great option for you guys as far as a mixer goes. The next option we have is the Mackie Mix 8. This is about 75 bucks. It has the 2 XLR ports that you can see here. It's another phenomenal option. Very small. These aren't very big. I don't know if you guys, if this would be perceived as large or not, but in these photos. But this is pretty small.
It's probably the size of a standard size tablet.
Probably, yeah, maybe a tablet, maybe a hair bigger than that, maybe, but not very large at all.
So real quick, guys, I know you're looking at these and going, oh my God, that looks crazy complicated. It just looks complicated, I promise you. Once you actually, you can't be afraid to play with things. You got to get in there, and once you actually get in there and start plugging these XLR ports in, start messing around with the gain and all of that stuff, you're going to figure it out relatively quickly. And if you can't, there's tons of tutorials online that are going to help you out with that.
Absolutely.
So we're going to jump into recording software options. We have 2 for you. Audacity. Audacity is amazing. It's what we personally use. And the best part about it is it's free to download and use. It's open source, so there's no restrictions as to producing content that you're going to be generating money from. No issues whatsoever there. Free to use, free forever. You'll be able to download it, and now you'll be able to download it 10 years from now for free. It's also for Windows and Mac users. Now, jumping into GarageBand, it's listed for $5 in the Mac store. You can get GarageBand for PC, but it's much more simple just to use Audacity. That goes for both PC and Mac. I would just recommend Audacity if all you're doing is recording a podcast. It's quick and easy to jump in and really kind of get a handle on. And GarageBand is more for more robust editing. Like if you're trying to do a song or something.
Right. Like creating sound as opposed to just editing. Yeah, Audacity definitely hands down. Great option. So let's jump into your hosting options. So you're going to need a place to store your podcasts. So what would be a good metaphor for this?
Thinking about YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. So you create a video. How are you going to get that? How are you going to get that video on the internet, out to the world? Right. You have to have somewhere to upload it and have it live online.
Exactly.
And, we're talking about podcasting. Well, there's specific things for podcasting, specific hosting services for podcasting where you can upload your podcast, and they basically will take care of the rest for you.
Yes.
As far as getting it kicked out to iTunes or Stitcher or Spreaker or SoundCloud, all of these things are going to be linked to your hosting service. So when you publish on your hosting service, it'll automatically publish on everything else.
Yes. And that's a great option of or a perk of Podbean in these 2 actually hosting options that we're going to show you. And you can see this is very economical. I mean, starting at $3 a month billed annually. So that's if you pay in full for the year, it's $3 a month. If you just pay monthly, it starts at $5, as you can see here. And as the rates go up, that is how much you can upload per month. So you can see you've got the advanced, the unlimited audio, then you got the unlimited video, then you've got the network option, and they even have some other options in between some of the stuff that they don't actually have on here. But as the prices increase, they just give you more data to utilize. So thus enabling you to upload more content every month. So Podbean is a phenomenal option. Another one is Libsyn. Libsyn is another one. They're like the what do you want to say? The trendsetters of
the founders.
Yeah,
of podcast hosting.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, the founders really of a hosting platform. And again, these 2 options you can upload to Podbean or to Libsyn, and these are going to kick out your podcast if you set it up and you submit your podcast to these various sources like iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, Spreaker, all these other things. They're going to kick these out to them, and some of them you don't even have to sign up for. It's going to automatically start kicking it out to these podcasting platforms. Here you can see Libsyn starts out at about $5 a month. You can see the price sheet over here. You have the 50 megabytes per month to utilize for the $5, and these are all the options that you get with that $5. And again, as you go up in the available data that you have to utilize per month, it gets a little bit more expensive. So we had to, I guess with the Forge Your Potential podcast, we're running about just around 800 a month.
Right. We use both. We use
Yeah.
both hosting services for various things.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we've used them both. We've dived into both, and they both work really well for specific things. So it's just a matter of what's going to work well for you and your podcast, your content, how you want to deliver your content, all of that stuff. A lot of things to consider here. So do your homework.
Absolutely. Well, and touching on some of this stuff real quick, is you're actually able to create, I wanted to point this out here on this, you're actually able to create your own custom mobile app. So you can do this on Libsyn and Podbean. It's an amazing option that you guys can utilize. Obviously, it costs a little more extra, but it's a phenomenal tool. That way you don't have to direct people to these podcasting platforms to listen to your podcast. You can direct them straight to your app. How official does that sound? Go to my app. And so
super cool.
Definitely a huge perk.
All right, so jumping into how do you find your niche? You may already know, but for those who don't, for those who are just kind of watching this to get a general idea of how to start a podcast, we're going to teach you. We're going to teach you how to go about finding your niche. Ask yourself these 3 questions. These are the best questions to ask yourself when it comes to finding your niche. So, what do I know more about than the average person? That's super important, right? You got to be able to speak about something that you're knowledgeable about. What do I most enjoy talking about? Oh my gosh, this is also very important. You want to start a podcast around something that you're going to be enjoying. It needs to be an enjoyable experience for you. If it's not enjoyable, if you're trying to push too hard, or you're trying to make things cram square pegs into round holes, so to speak, it's not going to work out for you, and you're not going to stick with it. Period.
Right. You're going to be miserable, and again, you need to do stuff. To a certain extent, you need to integrate what people want into your podcast. But when it comes down to the heart of it, you need to be doing what you want, what you enjoy.
Right. And then the final question is, what problem or problems would you like to fix? That's super important, right? Because it's an excellent way to kind of go about figuring out how to provide value.
Yes.
Right. So tagging along with enjoying what you're talking about, solving problems for people as well.
Exactly. And another great way to figure out what problems you'd like to fix, or asking other people, ask them, what do you dislike most about college right now? And they'd be like, oh, the book fees, or oh, this, I had no idea that I had to do this or that. And they're going to tell you all these different things. And instead of asking somebody like, oh, I'm starting a podcast about college, like, what do you think I should talk about? Ask them, like, what do you dislike about college the most? Like, what have you struggled with the most in college? What do you like most about college? What do you just ask them questions, and ask your friends, your family, these questions about things that you would like to talk about. And they're going to give you a lot of really good information to then integrate into your podcast.
Super good tips for sure. All right, so we're going to jump into how to form your game plan. And game plan is basically the very foundation of your podcast, right? So you got to figure out what your mission or foundation is. What's your goal? What's your overall goal with this podcast? What do you want to accomplish? And then also, what do you offer your audience, and how do they benefit by listening to your podcast?
That's huge. That's
super
huge.
Big, right?
Again, going back to asking people questions, what do they dislike about something? What do they enjoy about something? And it comes down to, what are they going to gain from this? And they need to understand what they're going to get from it. So going back to our intro, introducing a guest and telling them who the guest is and what we talk about in the podcast, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Right.
What are people going to get out of it?
Yeah, super, super important. And then decide what you're willing to change and what you're not willing to change, right? There are going to be some things where you need to put your foot down. You need to put your foot down and say, you know what? That is out of line with my foundation. That's out of line with where I want to go. That's out of line with the message or the feel I want my podcast to have. Very, very, very important. And then finally, don't compromise on your foundation standards for anything. There's going to be opportunities that come along that make it really, really enticing to change things up in a direction that would not be positive for your podcast. Don't give in, especially if it's really contradictory to your message or your foundation. Stay true to that. Stay true to that, because there are people out there that care about the things that you care about, period.
Exactly. And you're going to find them.
Right.
Authenticity, people.
Yes. All right, so we're going to jump into another podcasting success story real quick here.
Oh, yes. Mr. Joe Rogan. This guy is an animal in the podcasting field industry. This is his podcast here, the Joe Rogan Experience. You guys will have to go check it out. This guy is boasting around 20-30 million downloads per month, folks, per month. And we're talking mass amounts of ad revenue alone. We're talking in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars per year he's owning from simply this podcast.
Right. It's amazing. It's really the best success story you can probably bring up when it comes to podcasting, right? I'm sure you guys recognize Joe Rogan. He's the host of the Ultimate UFC, the host of the UFC, and he hosted Fear Factor. He was also on a sitcom, news radio, but he's been pretty big in the public's eye for a long time now.
Yeah,
and that's part of the reason he's had such a success with his podcast. But it's definitely possible for you to share that success as well.
It really is. And just kind of going into everything that he does, I mean, his YouTube channel where he has videos of his blog or his podcast, his podcast itself, all of these things are boasting millions upon millions of views, of downloads, of listens, of followers, subscribers, all this stuff. This guy is absolutely killing it. And you guys could be this right here. You guys could be the next Joe Rogan. You could be the next Lewis Howes. It just all comes down to doing what you want to do, being authentic, doing something that people enjoy, indulging in, and providing value for people in their lives. His podcasts are absolutely insane. They're really great. He interviews some really interesting people,
right?
And they're just so philosophical. The discussions are incredibly philosophical. You can kind of see this gives you an idea. This third eye here on his picture gives you an idea of kind of his take on things. I mean, he's very philosophical, very deep. He talks about a lot of life instances and struggles, and just talks about these different philosophies that all of us face in our lives. And it's a really incredible podcast, and obviously it resonates with a lot of people.
Really,
it's incredible.
Okay, so we're going to jump in. We talked about the 4-step structure to a 6-figure podcast, and in that we talked about music. We talked about your intro. So we're going to jump into getting music for your podcast.
How in the world do you guys get music?
Right. A lot of unclear boundaries as far as copywritten material out there right now. With YouTube's new terms of service, there's just a lot of copyright things going on right now, and you want to avoid that copyright infringement.
Exactly,
for sure. So, how do you get kick-ass music for your podcast? And again, avoid that copyright infringement. Well, it's 3 simple words: royalty-free music.
Yeah, baby. So you guys might, if you haven't heard of it, you might be wondering, what is royalty-free music? Well, in a nutshell, royalty-free music refers to a type of music licensing that allows the purchaser to pay for the music license only once and to use the music for as long as they desire. So you guys are going to be able to go and get music for your podcast and utilize it totally royalty free. Like, you purchase this music, you're buying the rights to it to utilize it in any way, fashion, shape, or form that you want.
Again, I want to note real quick here that if you're used to the standard price of a song, royalty-free music is going to seem pretty spendy to you. But we want to highlight here that, again, you're being allowed to use this music. You're getting the license for it. You're able to splice it apart. You're able to cut it. You're able to trim it. You're able to do anything you want to this song. And just that ability is worth a lot, for sure.
It really is. It really is. The #1 best place, hands down, to get your royalty-free music is premiumbeat.com. premiumbeat.com. And they also have sound effects that you can see as well. So royalty-free music and sound effects. These, I mean, we're talking like feature film music quality.
Right.
This stuff is off the charts. You guys will literally, your minds will be blown, and you will not be able to avoid purchasing a kick-ass song off of Premium Beat, because it is very well done, very well composed music, whether it's the the epic kind of music that you want, or it's the I mean, they have everything. I mean, they have music even with lyrics in it. A lot of royalty-free music doesn't have lyrics. Some of these songs do have lyrics. And they've got any and every kind of genre that you could imagine. So,
Right.
like, number one place, don't even waste your time. Go to premiumbeat.com, check it out there. But if you guys are wanting more of a economical, free option, go out and check incompetech.com. This is a great place to go as well. Again, if you guys don't want to pay for the music over there at Premium Beat, I believe it's all free. Is it all free on Incompetech?
Yes. But they do have a donation option. A lot of the stuff on Incompetech is not bad. It's not bad at all, right? It's pretty good music for getting started, and just being on a low budget and getting going with your podcast. But they have a donate option. So if you do utilize them a lot, and you their material, then we would recommend that you do contribute to that donation option on their website.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, just think about how much time and effort these people are putting into these things,
Right.
even the simple things. And just showing your appreciation for that is huge.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to jump into, real quick, how often should you produce or release an episode? So this varies based on your niche. Of course. There are certain things where you're going to want to do more often. There are certain things you want to do less frequently. It really just depends on what you're doing, what you're talking about, how often your audience is going to be interested. But the general rule of thumb is at least once a week.
Definitely.
Yeah, you got to keep the content in front of your audience. Once a week is a really, really, really good place to start. It's manageable too for you if you're just getting started.
Exactly.
Real quick though, form a schedule. Consistency is paramount. I mean, that's the case with anything, really. Your fans need to know when to expect your new episodes. Period. They do.
Right. And they're going to grow to expect that. When you upload your episodes and you stay on a consistent schedule, and then all of a sudden you deviate from that, we almost could guarantee that you're going to see a discrepancy in your statistics,
right?
As far as your downloads go, because people are going to come to expect that. And if you deviate from that without letting them know, let's go ahead and say that, because if you say, okay, we're actually going to be changing the schedule, and you do that for a number of weeks because you have to change your schedule for one reason or another, you might see a little bit of a difference in your downloads, but you're not going to see it to the extent of just leaving people hanging. Pretty much, that's
Right.
exactly what you're doing. You're providing them a service. It's like that's like saying you own and operate a gym, and you're open at 6 a.m. in the morning all the time, every time. Ever since you opened, you're open at 6 a.m. And then all of a sudden you decide to open at 9 a.m. and you don't tell anybody about it. Could you imagine how pissed off all your people that always come in at 6 would be? So definitely keep that in mind. Consistency is absolutely paramount.
Right on. So we're going to jump into what you came here for.
Yes.
What everyone's interested in. How to make 6 figures for your new podcast. We got to, it's awesome to be able to do a podcast and create content and get people listening and create those fan relationships, but you want to eventually start making money.
Exactly. So an option that you guys can have for your podcast is obviously selling and promoting your own products and services. So let's talk about virtual products. So this is going to be your ebooks, your educational courses, programs. You guys can do premium podcast episodes, online coaching, consulting. You guys can do direct your audience to your blog, your YouTube channel, your website. These revenue generating channels, so to speak, your revenue streams. Really, the list goes on. There's truly, in the virtual world, no limit out there to what you can create, package, and sell to your listeners. You guys have unlimited options. So physical products, let's talk about that. So you can sell a printed copy of your book. You guys can sell apparel, DVDs. Promote your Amazon, your eBay store. Again, direct people to your website where they can purchase, this apparel, the DVDs, or a copy of your book. Again, you can direct them to a brick and mortar storefront if you have a storefront. Again, I mean, the list goes on and on and on of like what you can do with your podcast.
Right. It's amazing. It's amazing. And right now you might be going, get it. You might be getting some ideas, light bulbs going off in your mind and your brain. But we're going to show you even more.
Yes.
Right. So we're going to jump into, if you don't have any products, what if you might be thinking, oh my gosh, like this is great, but I have nothing to sell. I have nothing that I've created yet.
Yeah, I don't have the time to make anything.
Right.
Just a place to start.
Write a book.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, you can sell and promote products and services for others. This is awesome, guys. So if you have a piece of paper right now in front of you, hopefully you do, get ready. You need to really pay attention for this part because this is super special. We're going to be sharing some things you probably haven't heard of in this area.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Right. So the first option you have is sell ad spots. So you can approach companies or wait for them to approach you. Just kind of make sure it stays in line with your company or your brand. But you can reach out to companies. You can actually email them and see if they would be willing to sponsor your podcast, right? So you can direct audiences to their storefront or sell their products and services. That's huge. Acquire sponsors and utilize coupon codes for those referrals. A lot of podcasts out there do this, for companies. There's been a lot of companies that have just come out and completely built themselves with podcasts.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, looking at Lewis Howes again, for example, right. I mean, you've got these people that literally came out of nowhere that are making millions of dollars a year, not just from their podcast alone, but a big portion of it is, their traffic through their podcast and those individuals taking action and responding to those calls of action that they pitch on their podcasts.
Right. And, the companies obviously benefit from this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ensure that the business, sponsor, and products and services are congruent with your brand, though. Again, super important. We had an experience with this where we chose a company to advertise for, to market for, that was not in line with our podcast. And, although it went okay, we ended up cutting the sponsorship because we felt that it was just not congruent with our brand. And it's super important when you're first starting out. You might be eager to just take anything that comes your way, but make sure to really analyze it and ensure that you're giving your customers something that they're actually going to benefit from, especially since they're coming to hear a specific thing from you, right?
Yes.
So do some market research and decide what you will charge. Look at Facebook, Google AdSense, etc., to get an idea.
Exactly. And this is what you're going to be charging people to advertise for them and promote their products, their services, and things like that. So do not go into a negotiation unprepared.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right. So another option you have is to join a podcast network. Podcast networks, basically in a nutshell, they are services that will actually find you sponsors that align with your brand, align with your podcast, and will hook you up with them for you. You don't have to do much work. A really good option. There's tons of them out there, but the best option that we've found is midroll.com. Something to note here, though, that podcasts are considered on a case-by-case basis with Midroll. They don't have a minimum listenership, meaning you don't have to have a minimum download amount per month qualify to be on Midroll. Again, though, you want to make sure that you're ready for this step because you're going to be getting offers, and it's really important when you have a sponsor that you don't misrepresent them in any way, shape, or form. So if you need to make sure you're comfortable advertising for someone first and everything that comes along with that. So the final way, No, this is the absolute best way to do something when you're first starting out.
Oh, absolutely, hands down.
Right. Right. So affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is huge. It's an amazing opportunity. So we're gonna jump real quick into what affiliate marketing is. I know it's a scary sounding term.
Yeah, it's kind
This
of like what? It
yeah,
sounds a little confusing. We most of all understand affiliate.
right,
We understand marketing, but what exactly is it, together?
right. So simply put, affiliate marketing is selling and earning commission from someone else's product on the web by using a link that is exclusive to you. Now, this might not sound different than what we were talking about before. The difference here is absolutely anybody can start in affiliate marketing.
Yep.
Absolutely anybody. You don't have to be an expert in anything. You can just decide that you want to start marketing people's products and start tomorrow.
And it really costs you really no overhead
Nothing at
whatsoever.
all. Nothing
Yeah.
at all. Um, so a good option for affiliate marketing is ClickBank. ClickBank is the powerhouse of affiliate products. And basically, as you can see here, the really good thing about ClickBank is they have informational products. So right here on the page of the screenshot we have a Ty Lopez product, the 67steps.com. And basically this is how much the product costs. So this is how much the customer will pay, $130.93. And then initial sale, you're going to get $64.80 initially from that purchase, right? And a lot of products on here, a lot of things on here have membership services, right? So you are able to build a continued revenue stream. So you're not only getting a commission from the initial sale, you're getting commission on a recurring basis from their subscription to various products, right?
Which is huge. I mean, there's
Huge.
just a lot of things that talk about passive income out there. And again, you're going to have to put work in to get to a place of being able to have any kind of even remotely close to passive income. But seriously, this is a phenomenal option for you guys out there. Affiliate marketing is a great place to start.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So in fact, most online retailers like Amazon and eBay have affiliate programs,
Which is amazing.
a lot of people don't know that, right?
Yeah.
So what's really cool about these is literally you can become an Amazon affiliate and promote anything period on their website and get a commission from sales.
How rad is that?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's pretty freaking cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And again, it's going to take time, it's going to take effort, but again, it's not anywhere near the time and effort that it's going to take you to formulate your own products, your own services, your own ebooks, whatever. This is going to be one of the best options for you to monetize your podcast.
Absolutely. All right. So we're going to jump into your new podcast to-do list.
Yes, again, get ready to take notes, guys. So what you need to do, first and foremost, I don't care what you're doing, record an episode. If you haven't even bought a microphone, I don't care. Record an episode. Get one done, because without jumping into it, you're just going to sit there and you're going to think about it. How many times have we heard somebody or we ourselves have done something where we say we're going to do something and we don't do it over and over and over and over again.
Right.
So do it today. Record an episode. Next thing you need to do, build your audience. Various ways to do that. A number of ways to do that. Again, going back to authenticity, all the things that we've talked about thus far. Another thing you need to do is refine your episodes. You need to be prepared to adapt. You need to learn your equipment. You need to learn your editing software, and you need to market your show. Quite the list to tackle, folks. Quite the list to tackle. But a couple reminders here. We wanted to remind you that you guys are not going to succeed overnight. All of this is going to take time. Any great thing, again, that has been created throughout the history of the human race has taken time, perseverance, and a team effort. So it's going to take time. And again, building an audience, a legacy, a six-figure podcast, this is not going to be easy. Everybody and their grandma would be doing it if it was easy. It's not. That's why this dude is up here this late at night. He's loving life, though, I guarantee you.
Yes, but he's working hard.
Exactly.
Starting a podcast.
Exactly. So you guys have a lot on your list to do, but we've actually developed something for you guys that it will make this whole entire process a whole lot quicker and a whole lot easier for you guys to not only grow your podcast, but to monetize it as well.
Introducing the Legion Academy's How to Podcast Like a Boss. Again, we've developed this for you. It's going to be it's an amazing system. It makes everything so much easier. It really does.
Absolutely. Going into building your audience, your marketing, all that stuff. I mean, we have the list of things right there that you're going to learn how to do in How to Podcast Like a Boss.
Right. So you're going to learn the exclusive full disclosure information about everything we use to get the job done, what equipment we use to take the Forge Your Potential podcast completely mobile. We're completely mobile. We're not confined to the studio. We're recording this masterclass in the studio right now, but we can go and sit at the park in some freaking lawn chairs and record an episode if we want to, right?
Have a picnic,
right,
and still get that studio sound quality, right? It's amazing.
Right. So what hosting service we use and all of its perks and how to integrate it with every single platform. So we have in-depth, and again, this podcast, How to Podcast Like a Boss, is a video course. So we show you in depth how to do all of this stuff. The most effective way to market a podcast and how we have gained thousands of fans in under a year. Again, we've grown quite substantially.
Oh, absolutely.
And then finally, everything software, editing tips, and tricks, and much more. There's a lot of value in this video course. Instant access is available on the Legion Academy course terminal. So we're going to jump into, what is the course terminal? Sounds super classy.
Super official, right?
Super official, right?
Super official. Well, the course terminal is an interactive, easy-to-use, educational, exclusive video delivery hub. So again, this is a video course. You guys can go on there, watch these videos over and over and over again, and learn how exactly we do everything. We designed the course terminal for everyone that is truly serious about getting the most out of their podcast. So here's how it works.
So from the homepage, thelegionacademy.com, you'll want to go to thelegionacademy.com, and on the homepage, you will be able to sign in, top right corner. Once you're a member of the course terminal, you will have your access to your sign-in. Very straightforward process. You go in, you enter your email address and your password, and you sign in, and then you're able to then launch the course terminal. Once you're in, this is actually the specific course that we're talking about, Podcast Like a Boss. And as you can see, these are all of the different video courses that we have included in here. And a really cool option is you're going to be able to review the most recent webinar, the one like what we're doing right now. Right? This will be up on the course terminal until we record the next webinar. So if you want to go back and review the webinar, the masterclass, and see what we might have added or changed, you have the option to do so.
Yes.
And this course is not just some measly low production quality type of deal. We've put a lot of work into this.
We're talking over 3 hours of video.
Over 3 hours of video.
This was a huge project, and it took a lot of time, but it was worth it. And just like Laura Alvarez Schrag is saying right here, Podcast Like a Boss was great and informative. My son is helping me get my new podcast venture launched. We are pretty excited about making it a reality. Connor and Dustyn, you truly inspired me to get started. Thank you. She is the founder of Pondera Consulting, Inc., and they do a lot of really, really great work for individuals with their companies. They do a lot of consulting work, obviously, and anything and everything really, including business. We're talking marketing, HR, everything. So
absolutely,
we actually sat down with Laura on an episode.
We did.
A number of weeks ago. An incredible episode, an incredible woman, a lot of really, really great information in that episode of the podcast. You guys will have to check that out if you haven't listened already.
And I'm excited about hearing her new podcast.
No kidding. That's going to be awesome.
Hell, man. I can't even imagine what her podcast is going to do.
It's going to be kick-ass.
Yeah,
that's what it's going to be. So, Laura, you're awesome.
All right, so save your questions for a little while longer, you guys. We have, over the next 10 minutes, we want to do something special for you.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have an offer for you. We want to do something special for you. So normally this How to Podcast Like a Boss video course is $200. So we want to give you 50% off over the next 10 minutes. You guys cannot afford to miss this, really. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity. Over 3 hours of video content, and you're going to have lifetime access to this. It's crazy, crazy.
Right.
Real quick, before we reveal the coupon code, I want to mention here that scholarship opportunities are available for people who are pinched on funds. They don't really. I've been in a position before where I've really wanted a product that somebody was giving away informational, and they're giving a discount, but I still could not afford the discount.
Right.
And I'm like, damn it, I can't get it now.
Yep.
And it's a real bummer. So we've actually provided the scholarship for you guys, and you guys will be able to, right on the page you're going to get a link to in a second here, you'll be able to fill out a scholarship form and actually submit it to us, basically naming your price. Now, going into that, if you can afford the 50% off discount, the price point there, please be honest. Please be honest. Do not take these scholarships. We have a limited amount available, and we want to save them for people that actually need them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So we're going to reveal the coupon code to you here, and then we'll start the timer. Again, this is only going to be available for the next 10 minutes, so jump on it, guys.
Jump on it for sure. The code is SAVE50. So right now, type BOSS into the chat box window. Again, that window that's in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, type BOSS into that, and you're going to see something a little peculiar pop up once you type that.
Right.
Bada bing, bada boom. Some of you guys are probably seeing that link right there that came up when you typed BOSS.
Right. Yeah, that's your link to this course. So just go ahead and click that course, or click that link, and go on over. We're going to go ahead and start the timer right now. And once you're over there, you'll be able to enter the coupon code and get that 50% off discount. Again, we have scholarship opportunities available. If you are interested, or you need help with affording this masterclass, or this course.
Yes. If you are in fact single, we probably are pretty sure you're able to afford it. Gotta love ads. But anyways, going into podcasting, you guys, podcasting is, again, an incredible tool to get your message out there, to get your passion, it's creative outlet, your business, your product, whatever it is that you have. It's an incredible outlet and an incredible tool to engage with people, to truly engage with your audience or your consumers, to provide information on a topic, on a subject, to really get people involved in discussions. It's priceless, and it's an incredible tool, and we strongly encourage you guys to start your own podcast. And if you guys want to, again, I mean, you can utilize all the information that we've given you in this masterclass now to start your own podcast comfortably, do it productively, do it very effectively and easily, but nothing compared to what we have in the Podcast Like a Boss video series, where we go absolutely in depth, again, into the editing, into the equipment, into the marketing, every little aspect of how exactly, step by step, to do this is in this course. And again, this is 50% off for a limited time. You guys head over there, follow that link. Again, you're going to get $100
off.
Yeah, $100 off. And this is 3 hours of video content. And again, you're going to have access to this masterclass forever. You're going to be able to come back and watch this if you want. You're going to have access to these videos, this video series, indefinitely. So go there, check it out forever. You're going to have it.
And if you guys have issues on the page with anything, if you get confused or held up in any way, shape, or form, we have a live. Our team is live, able to chat with you and help you through the process. Anything you need, so just don't hesitate to ask them for help. They're there to help you. So
exactly.
Jumping in real quick again. From this video course, you are going to learn our exclusive six-figure secrets. You're going to have lifetime access to the course terminal. Super beneficial, super beneficial. And again, we can't promise we're going to be offering doing this webinar or this masterclass indefinitely, but
Mm-hmm.
this video content is going to be yours for a lifetime.
Yep.
So if we ever do end up taking the course down, we're going to give you download options. You're going to be able to download the content and keep it that way.
Yes.
Again, it's over 3 hours of video content.
3 hours is huge. And podcasting right now it's a prime time to get into podcasting, people. It's really growing, but it's not growing to the extent that it's too much noise for you guys to really get through. I mean, looking at YouTube is an incredibly crowded marketplace, very difficult to find a niche in YouTube and to really do well at it. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort to get to the numbers that you could see from podcasting within a fraction of the time from YouTube. If you specifically follow what we teach in Podcast Like a Boss and what you follow even from this masterclass.
Right.
It's a great tool, again, to reach people. It's a great tool to get your products, your services out there. And there has not been a better time or an easier time to get into podcasting. All of this stuff is so easy. It's so streamlined. Again, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, but you guys are going to kill at it if you, again, follow these steps, follow the structure that we've learned by trial and error this
Right.
past year doing this. Again, we would be light years ahead had we had something like this offered to us in the beginning to learn, again, just step by step exactly how to do this and be successful at it. It's so valuable.
Right. Yeah, so with a little over 5 minutes on the clock left, what this coupon code is going to be valid for, we're going to run through what you're going to learn again. You're going to learn our exclusive full disclosure information about everything we use. We're going to go in depth about all the technology, all the mics, how we go about it, and what equipment we use. Again, we have some pretty rocking equipment that we've stumbled upon that's allowed us to go completely mobile.
Yes.
What hosting service we use, and more importantly, like how to dive into that and how to integrate it with all platforms: iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Overcast. All of these different places where you can find podcasts. We're going to teach you how to do that. The most effective way to market a podcast and how we have gained thousands of fans. Okay, so the marketing tactics that we have are completely unheard of. Nobody's teaching it like we are. Nobody. I mean, it's really amazing what we've come up with for the best way to go about marketing your podcast and reaching those people that you need to reach.
Yeah, exactly. And going into that just a little bit, I mean, this is stuff that we would have had to dig forever to learn. I mean,
Right.
This is, and honestly, we did go through a lot of fire to try to learn all this stuff. We went through the trial and error of trying something out and it not working over and over and over again. And to spare you that, we provide this for you.
Right.
And you're going to be able to just jump into it already knowing exactly how to do it and how to go about it. It's going to be extremely beneficial for you, your podcast, and you're going to save a lot of gray hairs from ever manifesting themselves on your head.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, guys, jump on it. I just want to mention one more time that we have scholarship opportunities available for those of you that are hesitant to dive into this content. If that's you, if you find yourself in that category, we completely understand, and we wanted to give you an option. So again, there's a link on that page. Again, type BOSS into the comment section right now. Reveal the link for yourself. Click that link, go on over there, and if you need a scholarship to access this course, please fill out that form, and you're going to be able to name your price.
Yep.
I mean, we'll review it, we'll go through it, but realistically, we're going to approve you if you need help. So
exactly. Oh, and the individual that left a comment about the Save 50 coupon, just go ahead and uncapitalize save. It looks like you capitalize the save. Go ahead and just do lowercase save 50.
Yes. Lowercase SAVE 50. No space in between there either. Looks like, did they have a space? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I can't tell from looking at it here.
Yeah, yeah. And again, if you're having issues on the page, we have a live chat team on call. They're sitting there, they're waiting for your questions. If you have run into any issues, don't hesitate. Give them a shout out, and don't be afraid to inquire about things. So
yes. And if you have any questions legally, we'll contact Paul. We'll ask him.
Yes, Paul.
Paul, hey.
Paul. He's probably listening right now.
Paul, what are you doing, man?
Paul, get off the masterclass and get to work, bro.
Come on, dude.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, the timer's coming to an end. After this, we're going to switch over, and you're going to be able to see us.
Yes.
We're going to jump into our live Q&A.
The live Q&A, my friends. We're going to
Yes.
jump into this live Q&A. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be able to you're going to be able to watch us in all of our glory here with our headsets and everything on, and ask us any questions that come to mind for you.
Right. So, again, I'm trying to scroll through the feed here. The person that asked questions earlier, this will be the time where you're going to want to repost those questions and ask us again, because we will answer as many questions as we possibly can. We have a pretty full house today, though. So get your questions in, and we will get to as many as possible.
Yes. So again, we just have a little bit under a minute left here. So go over and head over there right now. Again, 50% off for this.
Yes, and if you're on the page and there's something going wacky or wonky for you, you've contacted support and they're helping you out. Don't worry if the timer runs out. You will still get that discount. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. Cool, guys. Cool. Well, we got 30 seconds on the clock. Hopefully you guys were able to utilize the tools for success list that we gave for you. If you want to come back and attend another webinar or another masterclass we do in the future, please go and utilize this tools for success list. You're actually going to be able to submit a questionnaire to us too. So if you want us to cater this masterclass to you and explain things catered towards your specific questions, fill out that questionnaire before the masterclass next time it comes around, and we'll be able to do that for you.
Yes. And with that said, the timer is now complete.
Yes,
so we will be moving on to the live Q&A session, and we're going to go ahead and get that going on right now.
Perfect.
Stream, and there we go. So we should be good to go on there. And you guys can now see us live here in all of our glory again with our headsets on. Yes, let's go ahead and just jump into the full screen mode here.
Perfect.
Perfection. We are live.
Yes, we are.
And so we've got the questions over here. As they trickle in, we will be answering them. And again, thanks to each and every one of you guys that went over there that took advantage of this opportunity for you to really take off with your podcast and really start doing well with it from the get-go.
Yes.
Congratulations on that. Looks like we've got a question from George. Best place to host? Really, it comes down to what you're wanting to accomplish with your podcast. Which service is going to provide you with what you're looking for, and considering price ranges, considering the easy to use interfaces, how easy it is to upload a podcast episode or a photo or this or that, how good is their customer service, different things. We encourage you guys to really do your research on these people, seek out information on them, and look at the reviews from people that have used these services and decide which one is going to work best for you. Again, we both use Libsyn and Podbean for our hosting, and we love them both. We want to give a huge shout out to Libsyn's customer service. They do an incredible job. We've had a couple instances. We haven't had any issues. We had a couple months where we had too much content to upload for the month that would exceed our cap. And so what you actually can do on Libsyn is call them and they can backlog or archive data for that month. It costs you I think it was 10 cents at the time to backlog X amount of, per I guess
Mega-
gigabyte or megabyte or
megabyte.
whatever. Yeah, megabyte, not gigabyte.
Right.
But it's an incredible service, and literally, I mean, within minutes, you can get something done by contacting their customer service. It's amazing. They do an incredible job. But Podbean has been incredible. It's been very great.
Their video hosting is amazing. You know, they have options for video hosting. You can host video podcasts if that's the direction you want to go. It's amazing. It's amazing to have that capability. Libsyn does not offer that. So, jumping in here, we have a really, really good question. Actually, it's is there an age limit? Is there an age limit on who can join these podcast hosting services? So, I'm guessing what you're asking there is, do you have to be a certain age? And I don't know if maybe you can dive into the terms and conditions of these hosting platforms, Podbean and Libsyn. Then again, you're going to have issues if you don't have your own bank account, debit card, and things like that as far as paying. If you're underage, I'm assuming you are. But yeah, that's a good question. I would dive in there and look at their terms and conditions and find out what their guidelines are on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't assume, but you might run into, I mean, the whole, if you have explicit episodes, I mean, I wouldn't assume that you would, but I mean, having explicit episodes, maybe I wouldn't think that they would, but yeah, again, definitely follow that advice that Dustyn was just talking about, and go and check out their terms and conditions for sure, because that's not an answer that we have off the top of our heads.
Right. So another question we got here: where to purchase equipment and the best place to purchase equipment. Awesome question, because that's you need to know where to purchase your equipment.
Yeah, at a reasonable price, right?
And
yeah.
Our best advice would just be to shop around, really. The internet is a really good resource. Compare prices. You're going to be able to find things on sale. That blue snowball mic that we talked about earlier is about $50 on average, but you might be able to find it cheaper. Amazon's a really good place. If you have a local guitar center, that's a really, really good place. If you don't want to have things shipped to you and you just want to go buy something, then that's a really good option for you.
It's perfect. Amazon is an amazing resource. Also, another one for used equipment, you can go and check out Craigslist. Honestly, there are a lot of things that you can get on Craigslist that are almost brand new, that are just barely used. I've known a number of people that have gone on Craigslist and got pieces of equipment that were hundreds of dollars worth, and literally paid like $10 for the freaking things. I mean, we're talking like super discounted stuff, even if it's not hardly even used. But make sure it works. Obviously, do your due diligence. If you feel like that individual you're buying from is a little questionable, then don't buy from them.
Right.
So definitely listen to that inner gut. Let's see. The best place to upload a podcast? So I'm assuming that you're talking about the best place to kick your podcast out to, like the SoundCloud, iTunes, all that stuff. For us particularly, iTunes does the best. And that stands to reason, given the fact of just iTunes and its integration of podcasting into their app and all, in their everything that they do. Having the podcasting app directly on the iPhone, for example, iTunes. Yeah, exactly. Pre-installed, and you can't get rid of it. I don't believe, right? It's one of those that's
I don't think
always
you can
there.
get rid of it. Yeah.
So just that integration of that is a huge pusher for iTunes, and that's why we generally get so many downloads from iTunes every month. But another resource that we've been utilizing quite a bit and directing people to is SoundCloud. And if you're not on SoundCloud, we would recommend getting on there, because it's not only a place to upload your episodes to, but it's a great place where people are actually interacting. So you have these people that are interacting with these tracks, so to speak, of your podcast. They can like it, they can share it, they can comment on it. You can comment back. It's a platform for interaction and engagement. And I can't think of any other platform out there that just allows you so simply and easily to interact with your audience and those individuals that are listening.
It's like social media for audio, realistically, right?
Exactly. And it's the closest thing to that we've really been able to find, utilize, and leverage.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and quite honestly, you want to kick your podcast out to as many different avenues as possible, right?
mm-hmm.
So don't hesitate, don't restrict yourself to one thing.
Right.
Just because we're saying it's the best, you want to be on everything. You want to be, and it's super super easy to get on everything when you have a hosting platform. So don't restrict yourself whatsoever, and just why not be out? Why not be out in multiple places? Because there's your target audience is going to be hanging out in different places anyway,
mm-hmm.
right? So why would you want to restrict them as to where they can find you?
Right.
Cool.
Hopefully we answered that for you. Let's jump into the next question here. What do we got?
So we covered that.
Scroll
we covered
down.
them all.
We got that one. We got that one. Let's see. Where should I expect to be within with download? Okay, so you're talking about downloads and how far you should be within a certain amount of time. We want to tell you to not even focus on that. I mean,
definitely don't.
You can have a goal. Obviously, we encourage goal setting and saying, okay, I want to have 1 million listeners, and in reverse engineering that and in figuring out how to get yourself to that 1 million listeners. But don't say I want 1 million listeners in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can be realistic as far as setting goals for how many listeners you want to have, downloads per month, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, you should be way more concerned with your content.
Right.
You should be way more concerned with the quality and the value that you're providing for your listeners way before worrying about how many downloads or whatever you're getting. So we would highly recommend focusing on refining your podcast. So we would assume that since you're here, you're not very far along in the process of podcasting. If you've even started already, it sounds like you possibly haven't. You shouldn't really put a time frame on it. To be totally honest, Dustyn and I, we have our goals as far as how many people we want to reach with a specific video. We have, this and that. We have goals that we set for ourselves and for Forge Your Potential, but a lot of it, like, we're focused on doing shit like this. We're focused on events.
We do that with the content that we produce.
Right.
And you have to realize that you're not going to just grow by focusing on the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
If you focus on the numbers, it's going to hurt you more than it helps you.
Right.
Your content is what's going to enable you to grow, period.
Exactly.
So jumping in real quick, I have a podcast, and I'm at just recorded my 21st episode.
Sweet. Good job.
How many downloads should I have per month by now? So
kind of again,
I
mean, going back to this.
Right. It's the same kind of thing, right? But hey, good job. 21 episodes. That's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that. But going into this again, focus on the content. Don't focus on your downloads. It's really, really easy to do. We have moments where we're questioning why things might have dipped off at a certain point, and we're stressing about the downloads, and then we just have to remind ourselves, like, okay, back to reality here. How are we going to fix this? How are we going to continue to grow? And it always comes back to that content. It always comes back to producing things that people want to freaking hear.
Right. Exactly. And that's going to take time, And again, congratulations on being where you're at with was it, the
21 episodes.
21 episodes.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of people that would quit long before that because, honestly, if you don't have anything to your name, just exactly like Dustyn and I did when we started Forge Your Potential, you're not going to just have that immediate engagement and thousands of people tuning in and all this other stuff. It's going to take time, and you're going to be like, nobody gives a shit about what I'm putting out there. Nobody cares. I'm bagging this thing because I'm sick of wasting my time with it. And so congratulations for not doing that and persevering and being here today with us and learning all that you can about podcasting. You're incredible. Keep it up. You're going to succeed.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Actually, Daniel, thank you and congratulations to you also for getting the course, enrolling in the course.
Daniel, what's up, man?
Daniel, yeah, it's the same person that just asked.
Oh, perfect.
The 21. He's on episode 21. So awesome. Hold on. He's interested in the marketing portion of it.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. Obviously, it's going to be great for you. Great tactics we share in there. Congratulations for jumping in and taking the next step and going ahead and getting that course.
Definitely,
enrolling in that
definitely.
course.
And again, you can you're going to be able to contact people if you have any questions. We have a team live
Right.
able to help you out anytime you have a question about anything. So
Yeah, that's right. We didn't mention that in
yeah.
the course terminal. If you're in the course terminal and you are watching this video course and you have questions, we have the live chat support team on call to help you. Questions about logistics, questions about anything concerning a podcast. If the video, if you're confused about a video, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's really incredible. And again, thanks, Daniel, man. You're the man. You're the man. Looks like you're well on your way, my friend. And with that, we are going to wrap this up. We've got things to do, places to be. And thank every one of you for being here with us today, hanging out. And thanks to everybody that went ahead and purchased the Podcast Like a Boss video series. You're not going to be disappointed, and we will be in touch with you. So without further ado, guys, get on it. And I think, you've got your first episode to record today, so you got to get on it.
Or your 22nd.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You guys take care. And from Forge of Potential, today is the day.